Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our workshop, Create Your Classes. I'm your host, Ryan Clancy, and I'm the Client Success Manager here at Educational Networks, and I'm very excited to have this opportunity to be able to go in and to work with you today for our training session. We do have a little bit of a roadmap here for the training session as we go in and take a look and see the steps involved with creating a class. So we're going to start by taking a look at a really cool example of a class. We'll have a chance to see how students and families are going to go in and actually locate the class. After that, we'll give everybody a few minutes to get logged into their account, and we encourage you to do so. We are going to be giving you time during today's workshop to create classes of your very own. And the benefit of that is if you have any questions as you're doing so, you can ask them right here and get immediate support for those questions here. And then, of course, we're going to also have a chance to see how you can go in and you can essentially create homework assignments. And this allows parents, or actually students, I should say, only students' accounts can turn in homework assignments online. This will allow them to go ahead and do that here. Now, speaking of that, there are some additional steps to enable that for student accounts, and we'll definitely go in as well and talk about that. And please remember, questions are encouraged. Remember to ask questions. What you want to do is you want to type those questions in the chat box. It's going to be located towards the right-hand side of your screen. All right, everyone, let's go ahead and get started. It's important to note that as we're going in and we're looking at our school websites, that there's really two ways that students are going to go in and access their classes. One of the ways is to go in and to go over here to classes, and then to locate the department their class is in, and then from there they can go in and select their course period. Once they're on this screen, they're able to view a course description. What you'll also notice here as well is that you have an area for files, so you could definitely go in and add your syllabus here. Also, too, you're able to go in and see the homework that's assigned for this particular course. So let's take a look at that. So in this case, we are signed into a student account. And in this case, I do see that if I was a student, I do have a homework assignment that's due that I need to complete. It looks like I have some math problems I need to go in and to work on there. And the great thing about this here is that it'll, along with allowing students to turn in homework assignments online, if you're using the brand, if your school's using the branded app, and it's important to remember that all of our schools do have access to that free version of our app, that they can actually turn in the homework assignment right on the app itself, which is really, really cool. So, especially if it's a homework assignment like this, this is probably not going to be one that they're going to do on the computer, but they could just definitely take a photo of it with their smartphone, and they can turn it in through the app that way, which is pretty neat. So as we can see, everyone, going in and using classes and homework is a great way to make the process for turning in homework assignments not only easy for us as teachers, but also for students as well. And that's exactly what we're going to have a chance to see here today, is how we can make this happen. All right, everyone. So what I want to go in and do is I want to give you a few minutes to log into your account. Now, if you have any questions about logging in, please let me know, and I'm going to be happy to go in and to help. Cool thing is you no longer have to go in, and you no longer need to go to a separate admin site. Now you can log in right on the live site itself. Here's how you're going to go about doing that. This all depends on the type of computer that you are using. So we'll say that, as an example, I'm using a Mac here. To pull up the login screen, I just double-click my command key. And when I do that, I'll notice that I'll have this login window appear here. So including where I can put in my username and password. Now, what's neat too is even if I'm not sure of my password or even my username, that's okay. Because all I got to do here is I just click Forgot Password. I'll type in my username or my email address, and then from there, I'm going to be sent that password reset email. All right, everyone. Right now, it is 4:37 p.m. Eastern, about 1:37 p.m. On the West Coast right now. So let's take 3 minutes to allow everybody to get a chance to get logged in. And if you have any questions about doing so, please let me know, and I'll be happy to help. All right, everyone, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to log in. Once I log in, what I'm going to do to get started with creating my courses is I'm going to head over here to the hamburger button. And then from here, I'm going to notice where it says my classes. So let's give everyone just a moment to go in and to head over to this area here. Now, once you're here, you just click here on where it says my classes. And what that does is it brings up this screen here. So this essentially is going to be the dashboard of your admin side, of your login. Now, what I want to do first is I need to start by adding the actual class on. So I do that just by going in and clicking Add Class. Let's give everyone a moment to reach this area here. Please let me know if you have any questions. All right, everyone. So essentially, to create a class, all I got to do is fill out a form. So let's say that I'm creating this for my Marine Biology 100 course. So I start just by going in and typing that name in. What I'm then going to do is I'm going to go in and enter in our course code. So in this case here, it's going to be MB100. Once we do that, what we're going to do next is we are going to select the department that we want this in. So this is optional. If you do have this option, I definitely recommend that you do that because it will make it easier for students to locate your class in course directory. So in this case, definitely going to add this on. And one option we do need to select is the term. So in this case, we have one option, the 2021-2022 school year. So I go in and I check that box. And what that brings us to is where we're able to go in and we can create multiple class periods. Depending on your school's website, it may be labeled as sections, so you can create multiple sections as well. But in this case here, we have them as course periods. So in this case, I'm going to say that I teach Marine Biology 100 twice. So we're going to say for period 1, room 100. And then we're going to say also for period 7. Whoops. And then also for room 100. And the benefit of doing this is going to be something that's going to save you time because when you are assigning homework through here, it allows you to go in and to assign that same assignment to multiple classes at the exact same time. After that, we see here where we can go in and we can add on a class description. Now, this text editor works the same as any other text editor. You may have seen this before on the calendars feature. So for the calendars, for example, for your teacher page, one thing that we want to keep in mind with this text editor is, and this goes for the same for the one on the calendar, we just want to make sure to switch this to plain text before we paste anything in here. And we only want to put text in here. And the reason we want to do that is it's going to make sure that our formatting, that's going to stay intact. So I just go in, I highlight over this, I copy this, whoops. And once I do that, I just paste this in. So just by going in and filling out this form, we're almost done with building our first class here. In this case, actually 2 classes. But we have a few more options here, actually one more option, and that is to go in and attach files and pictures. So, this is perfect. We could definitely go in and add on a class syllabus, even pictures as well. So pictures to kind of go with the theme of the class. So let's go in and add both on. So I'm just going to go in and click Choose File. I'm going to add on my photo. So let's add the photo on first. So in this case, I'm going to add a photo on of a beach scene here. I'm going to click Open. After that, we'll go in and we'll add on our syllabus. Now remember, the same way that you add files to an email when you're creating your classes, that's going to be the same way you're going to add files here too. So in this case, I just go in and I click Choose File. I just need to find my syllabus here. So syllabus. See it right here. And I click Open. All I need to do now, our last step, is to click Save. Now what happens here is we see where we can go in and we're able to make changes to the class that includes access to a course or a class period specific calendar, which is cool. And we can also go in too, if we go to this drop-down menu, we can assign homework assignments as well, which we're going to have a chance to see here in just a little bit. Now, if we were a student, we could go in, click Classes, and we'd be able to go in and we'd be able to view the course here as well. All right, everyone. So right now it is 4:47 p.m. Eastern. Let's go in and let's take 5 minutes to work on this here. As you're doing so, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Remember to ask questions. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to type those in the chat box on the right-hand side, and I'll be happy to assist with those. What we'll do is at 4:52 p.m. Eastern, we're going to go in and see the steps that are involved with creating a homework assignment. Please let me know, everyone, if there's any questions I can help with. All righty, everyone. Well, let's go in and see how we can assign a homework assignment. And in a large respect, this is similar to how you go in and you start with creating your class. It's going to be just like filling out a form. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to go in and I'm going to click on the hamburger button. From here, what I do is I go in, I go over to my classes, and I got a couple of ways that I can go in and create the homework assignment. One is to just go to the main course page. The other option is to go in and to click Add Homework. So I can select this here. And we see here how this is very much like going in and filling out a form. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start just by going in and I'm going to choose the due date. So I'm going to say that this assignment is going to be due a week from today. So I'm just going to go in, check that box. What I then do is I go in, I click on the calendar icon. I'll say it'd be due on the 24th. Now, that being said, we do have 2 different courses here, 2 different course periods. They may be on different tracks, and that's perfectly fine. So if you ever do have that, you can, of course, go in and set these to different due dates. So in this case, maybe we'll say that this is due on the 26th for period 7. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go in and add on the homework description. So in this case, this is also something that I've already gone in and I've typed out. And what I'll do from here is I'm going to go in, switch this to plain text, I'm just going to highlight over this. I'm going to copy that and paste this in. We're going to say that this is our Chapter 1 worksheet. So I'm going to paste this in here. We'll just type that in. So we'll type in Chapter 1 worksheet. I'll put in some additional requirements here, maybe something such as, please type minimum 100-word answers in 14 font. Perfect. So I go in and do this here, and I got my formatting options, so we're definitely going to add those on. So I'm going to add on the horizontal rules for the instructions for the assignment here, and then the actual questions as well. We'll go in and I'm going to center this, I think. So we'll make this bold and underlined as well. Perfect. So we've gone in, we've added on our due dates, we've added on our homework description, and we're just going in and we're filling out a form here. And we also have the option here, if we would like to go in and add files. In this case, we've gone in and we've added on the questions for the assignment, the instructions as well. So in this case, I'm just going to go in and leave that be. And what that brings us to is number 4, student involvement. So this is up to you. You can absolutely allow students to submit homework digitally, and that's exactly what we're going to do here. Keep in mind that for them to be able to turn in homework online, there are some additional steps that need to be completed, and that is something that we are going to have a chance to talk about here today. So to create our assignment, just like creating the class, we've just filled out a form, and I go in and I click Save. Perfect. I refresh the page now, and what I'm going to notice is that now I have a homework assignment here. What I'm going to do here, if I was a student to view this, I would go in and I would select See Homework, and I'd be able to go in and I'd be able to view this here as well. All right, everyone. We definitely want to give you some time to add on your first assignment here, or if you want to do some more work on the class page itself, you're more than welcome to go ahead and do that too, and your teacher page as well. As you're going in and you're working on that, please let me know if you have any questions. So we'll take 5 minutes here. What we'll do is at 5:02 p.m. Eastern, and that will be 2:02 p.m. Pacific, we're going to go in and see how we can go, and we're going to talk about the steps that students will need to take before they're able to turn in homework assignments online. Please let me know, everybody, if you have any questions. All righty, everyone. So we've seen today the steps that are involved with creating a class and then also creating a homework assignment as well. Now, the question is, what do students need to do to be able to turn in homework assignments online? There's some steps that they're going to need to take, as well as steps that we'll need to go ahead and complete as well. And that's what we're going to take a look at next here. One of the first steps that students are going to need to take here is they're going to need to go in, and they're going to need to go in just a moment. Let's go back here. They're going to need to go in and to create an account. So to do that, they can either select Create Account up here or from this next page. And essentially, all they're going to do is they're going to go in and fill out this form. They're going to go in and put in their first name, middle name, and last name. Middle name is actually optional. And then this next part here is very, very important. It's important to note that only student accounts can go in and actually turn in homework assignments online through the site. So that's just something important to note. What they'll do next is they'll go in, they'll put in their email address, and then create a password. After that, They'll go in and type in the verification code and click Create Your Account. Here's what happens next. After that, they're going to be sent a verification email, and in that verification email is going to be a code. Now, this only applies to students who have never had an account and an account that's never been verified before. If that's the case, what you want to do is you want to ask your students to go in and to send you that code or to bring it into class. And here's what you're going to want to do with that code. What we want to do with that code is we just go over here, we click on the hamburger button, we go to My Students and Parents, and what we then do is we go in and select Verify Student Accounts. What we do is we go in, we type in that verification code. At that point, you're going to be asked to confirm that you are verifying this particular student. And once that's complete, everything on your end is going to be all set to go. And after we do that, it's important to note that there is one more step that students are going to need to take, and that's this. So be just a moment. So I sign in here. So I'm going to say for a moment I'm a student. And I click Sign In. Oh, hang on one moment. My apologies, everyone. I think I clicked the wrong thing. That's okay. Perfect. What I want to do next here is this, is I need to go in and I need to find my marine biology class. We saw how we could do that through the classes directory here. It's important to note that classes can actually also be accessed through your teacher page, just like this. I go in and click Staff Directory. I find my teacher's profile, and I click on it. I scroll down, and I see my classes here. So I'm going to say that I am a student in Mr. Clancy's Period 7 Marine Biology class. What I do from here is I click on this, and then I just go in and I scroll down towards the bottom of the screen. All I got to do next here is I click Add to my class list, and now I see that I have 2 classes on here, and I also have homework assignments that are due for both. So what I'm going to be able to do once I'm ready to turn that assignment in is I just go in. I say I want to turn it in for Mr. Evans' class. I would just click on the date here and click Submit Homework. And what we have here is an area where we can add, for example, the files for this. So, for example, those could be PDFs or perhaps a word processing document as well. And then also, too, if there's a question about the assignment, they can also go in and type that question in right in this particular field here, too, which is pretty cool for that. So definitely something here that's pretty neat, everybody. And it's, as I mentioned before, they can also turn in homework assignments via the app as well. All right, everyone, so that there wraps up our workshop today. So what I want to do is I want to turn the floor over to you to feel free to ask any questions you have. Remember to ask questions. What you're going to want to do is you're going to type those questions in the chat box. That'll be located towards the right side of your screen, and I'll be happy to help with those. Let's go in, though, and take a look and see how we can get help from our tech support team here at Educational Networks. What we do is we start by going in and clicking on the hamburger button. And this is just one of the ways we can reach out to tech support. There's another area you can go to access, where you're going to go to submit tickets. But in this case, we'll just go in and click Dashboard. And what that does is it brings us to the screen here. One thing that's great to point out too is we have our classes, and we are provided with information about that class as well. So we can, for example, see how many students we have in that class. Also, what we can do too is we can view the day's webinars here. And if we want to see webinars that are planned for the rest of the week, we just go in and we click View Full Calendar. And later on this week, we will have next week's schedule released as well. So definitely something to keep an eye out for. But right up over here is how you're going to go in and you're going to reach out to tech support. And you have two main ways to do that. One is to give them a call. We do ask for requests for the website that they are sent in via a ticket. So essentially all you do is you just go in, you click create a ticket, and you just fill out the form. It's best here you want to be as detailed as possible when you are going in and creating a ticket. That way, it allows our team to be able to complete your ticket as quickly as possible there too. And what's neat as well is if you have questions about specific parts of your teacher page, you can even screenshot those and add those on here as an attachment. Now, our tech support team, they're available Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. Eastern all the way up until 3 a.m. Eastern. So they're available through a lot of the day. All righty, everyone. Well, hey, I want to thank you all so much for taking the time out of your busy days to join us here for our workshop. I want to mention too that if you have questions, to feel free to either give me a call or send me an email, and I'm going to be happy to go in and help with those. Keep an eye out. I am going to be sending you some resources from this training as well. This training was recorded. So once this recording is complete, we will also be going in and sending that out to you as well. All right, everyone. I want to thank you all so much for joining us. Keep inspiring those future generations. And I look forward to seeing you all again really, really soon. Take care, everybody.